Oh, I need to turn my light on. See, I didn't do any prep. Not that I ever do any prep, but I didn't do any prep. Okay. Let me turn on my light. Jesus Christ. Hold on. Oh, the music. Thank you to DevPods GG for reminding me that my music levels were off and that the light was off. We'll get there. We'll get there. The lighting options. I have a cheap light, and so this is maybe my doing. How's this? It's a little dark today, but that's okay. Yeah, it's orangish. I don't know what's going on. Okay, let's play with the lights. Let's play with the lights. Hold on. Modes. I'm going to show you the modes of the light. This is Instruction Derby, by the way. Welcome to Instruction Derby. Every week, Wednesday happens again, and I am perpetually surprised by it. This is a me problem. This is something that I need to investigate why this keeps happening. But it is what's happening, and I don't know. It also looks like there's maybe a little bit of a lag between my voice and the words that are showing from my face, my mouth. That's what I'm trying to say. The movement of my mouth on here. I don't know what's going on. We'll just wing it. But you know what will make this feel better? As I mess with the lighting in a second. The official drink of summertime. Flashback 64 Pod is here. Thank you for coming. You look in sync to me. I always preferred the Backstreet Boys, but I'll take it. Thank you so much. We've got the official drink of summer and of being in sync. And we got grapefruit today, proudly made, as always, the hard way, just like this show, made the hard way. I presume that means that they wing it when they make this too. But you wouldn't know it by tasting it because, boy, oh boy, the good folks at Spindrift, the official sponsor of this show and all other Soundstone podcasts, tastes good. Let's take a sip. No more scurvy for me. That's the stuff. So let's check with the lights. So I have a little like circular light that's hanging up here, dangling up here. It's a little bit off kilter today. I could do this if I wanted to make a scary episode. I could let this sort of swing around. I think I might have screwed it up beyond all repair. Foobar. This is Foobar. The show is already Foobar, and we're 3 minutes in. I think that I was going to say something about current events. I'm not here to ignore it. I am here to enjoy the time that I have on the show. Maybe I'll say this. Holy smoke. So first of all, we got Duke Donuts in the chat. Hello. And I owe you a response. We do. Thank you. I appreciate the Abolish ICE message. I thought about changing it because there's so much else going on too. But then I thought one of the challenges, one of the things that drives me nuts as a person in this country is that the moment the heat is brought down just a little bit and you lose your Greg Bovinos or your Christy Gnomes and you replace them with your Tom Homans who pretend to be more mature, we lose track of them. And so I decided to keep it because ICE is still terrorizing people all over the country. They are still making things terrible for people all over the country. And we can't forget it. So there you go. Very Star Wars voice. Stay on target and abolish it and throw every one of them in prison for the rest of their lives. Additionally, and you're right, ICE does exist due to the war on terror. I remember the Axis of Evil very well. Not unrelated to other recent events. That is very true. These are, in fact, all the same thing, and they are all, in fact, the project of fascism, which is closely tied to the project of capital here in America. And so what we need to do, probably, is a general strike, at the very least, among other things, as well as unionize and do a number of other things, including invoking the 25th Amendment, getting Donald Trump out of office, taking all of his enablers, and putting them into a deep, dark hole where they have to, I don't know, let's just say eat each other to survive. I don't care. They can do whatever they want to do at that point. So that's what I'd say. I will also say this. Great start. This is Spindrift, proud sponsor of bringing down capitalism, I think, probably. Proud anti-fascist drink right here, Spindrift. I want to shout out somebody who's in the chat who has not joined before for very good reasons because of the time zone. We've got that beardo Adam is in here. It says, "What's up, nerd? What up, nerd?" I take that. I'm grateful. Thank you. That is a term of endearment coming from you. Welcome to the show, and I am here to disappoint you, but welcome. So let's do this. Spindrift is here to lift the mood. That's right, Flashback 64 Pod. And you know who else is here to lift the mood? A surprise late entry to the show, an additional manual that I wanted to read that I looked at right before coming in here, called Chubby Cherub. So let's read Chubby Cherub. Not Chubby Checker, but Chubby Cherub. There's not much to this one, but I was looking through actually a really neat website here. So I was looking for NES manuals. Usually when I go through my manuals, I look at the Internet Archive. I look at a couple of other places. Nintendo, like sometimes actually like Nintendo and Sega have decent manual scans, but oftentimes they're missing. The ones that I found on Internet Archive, though wonderful and free, are not complete. But I found this one today for NES manuals, and boy oh boy, do we have a lot available. And as I was looking at it, I found Chubby Cherub from our good friends over at Bandai. Dr. Tasty is here. Holy moly, good to see you. Yes, this is the best. Everybody's here. Everybody's here. This is like a Smash Brothers introduction video. We got it, including Chubby Cherub. There's not too much to this one. I just really enjoyed some of the writing in it when I took a brief look. You've got the seal of quality, which of course is legally distinct from the show's seal of quality. By the way, this show is an official partner of an official show of the Soundstone Network, home to such podcasts as Flashback 64, Pixels and Polygons, Kirby Conversations, all wonderful to listen to, all wonderful to check out. And of course, you can listen to the music that underpins this show by going to satellitesound.net. That is Andrew Elmore's music. And Andrew Elmore is, as always, not just a great musician and a great artist, but also a cool-ass dude. So we appreciate that. Wizard blurted that Andrew is a cool-ass dude. So happy birthday, Ryu, to Andrew. Let's read about Chubby Cherub. Here we go. We got the chub. Yeah, so here we go. Everybody's got a chub when they're playing Chubby Cherub on the Nintendo. Thank you for selecting the Nintendo Entertainment System Chubby Cherub game pack. Object of the game / game description. Chubby Cherub, a sweet little angel, enjoys eating and loves to help people, but life is never so simple. There are many obstacles he has to overcome before being able to enjoy some delicious food or partake in exciting adventures. This just describes parenting. Dogs are always trying to bite him. Birds continually peck at him. And when flying, he often gets covered with puffs of smoke from the chimneys. Even attempts to rescue a friend held hostage are thwarted when a burglar throws firecrackers at Chubby Cherub. Oh my God. I will say, and not to victim blame, but I think Chubby Cherub should look at himself in the mirror and think, who is the constant in all of these interactions? And is there something that he might be able to do about it? And all of these keep happening all the time. It's enough to get Chubby Cherub down. But with you at the controls, Chubby Cherub can prevail over anything or anyone who hinders him when helping a pal or eating a succulent shish kebab. Make Chubby Cherub's day a great one. He's depending on you. Save the booklet for future reference. When they say future reference, they mean now. Yeah, Chubby Cherub is a very identifiable protagonist. He just lives life the way that we do. Chubby Cherub's cool. We're gonna zoom out. I don't think there's too much here, but I just like there's some art down at the bottom. A button, by the way, is used to eject your Gao Gao cannon. So if you got a chub and you need to eject your Gao Gao cannon, just press A. We know that works, which fires the heart symbols that Chubby Cherub makes. When Chubby Cherub eats a special candy, he can eject the Gao Gao cannon several times. So whenever he eats his, we'll just call it a blue chewy candy, he can fire his Gao Gao cannon for far more frequently than he usually can. So we've got that. That's pretty cool. To increase his power, you got to eat more food. There's a lot of food eating going on over here. The screen gradually advances to the right as the game progresses, so it's an auto-scroller. Each day covers a different adventure and shows a different scenario. The bonus point changes with each adventure. In the middle of the adventure, there will be a particular scene that will stop the screen. The scene cannot advance until Chubby Cherub finds a particular object, food, or person in that scene. At the end of each adventure, he has to go fight off the burglar and rescue his friend. He's often called upon to perform errands or to help people. For example, let's see, the professor can ask him to deliver a microcomputer, particular object, or he is told to give a flower, particular object, to the madman as a present for having caused problems in the past. Or he has to discover a clue to find his pal, Angelo, who has been kidnapped by a burglar and is being held hostage. Chubby Cherub must overcome a number of obstacles, dogs, smoke pipes, factory, forest, etc., and perform his tasks in a given time in order to achieve the objectives. Yes, those are all of the obstacles that I see every day. Dogs, smoke pipes, factory, forest, etc. Here's some characters. Tag yourself. Yeah, we are rewarding the madman for causing... Unfortunately, Chubby Cherub is the blueprint for American society today. We are rewarding the madman with something just to help him do better. I guess now it's not the way to do it. Don't give the madman his microcomputer. You've got Chubby Cherub over here. He looks kind of cool. These look like his eyes. This is his big, I'm assuming, flowing hair. His mouth, maybe? I'm not really sure what I'm looking at over here. He's cool, though. Microcomputer. This is one of my favorite things. They used to do this in, like, Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine all the time whenever they do video game stuff, as just, like, draw pixely-looking guys. Bring this back. You got Chubby Cherub, you got the Madman, you got the microcomputer, Professor, Flower, Clue, to find Angelo, and then, of course, our good friend, Angelo. You got your techniques. Jump is always the same. Flying lets you move faster. When Chubby Cherub eats a special candy, he can eject the Gao Gao cannon several times. The Gao Gao cannon makes Chubby Cherub's heart symbols. It makes the dogs scared, and they run away. Famously, yes, the dogs eject a Bow Wow gun also. It says, so you can fight the dogs with their Bow Wow guns if you whip out your Gao Gao cannon after eating some candy. Very good stuff. Invisible Chubby Cherub. Invisible. He gets a P mark. He becomes invisible and invincible for a bit. If he's hit by a dog's Bow Wow gun, he becomes visible again. Chubby Cherub needs to keep eating. He consumes a lot of power when flying, so he needs a lot of carbs. You got apples, grape, shish kebab, hamburger, and cake. I was only going to read this for a couple of minutes, but I love this manual. And you are correct about that, Beardo Adam. Not to distract from the manual. That's okay. But you've got like a month to get your flight back to Kyoto for Bit Summit. And that is what I would love to do. If I had the ability to do that, I would do that in a heartbeat. Maybe, Beardo Adam, here's my request. If you can talk to a developer in Kyoto and tell them that I will come for the cost of a flight and help them out at their booth, I could maybe make that work. That would be great. I would love to do it, man. Oh my God. One of these days, one of these years, I will have a job that allows me to head out there for work. That would be my dream. So, man, Kyoto. By the way, for folks who don't know, Bit Summit is the premier indie games conference, I guess, festival celebration. It's in Kyoto, and this year it's in springtime instead of the boiling hot August that I think it usually is. August or July, something brutal. So it's out there. If you make it out there, go say hi to Beardo Adam. You got your friends, all that kind of good stuff. You got to drive back the burglar, which is important to know. Beware the following are deadly. Chubby Cherub getting bit by a dog or pecked by a bird. Chubby Cherub getting hit by a dog's bow wow cannon or by an egg thrown by the crow. Chubby Cherub getting hit by a burglar's firecracker or by a balloon or smoke. Chubby Cherub losing power or time running out. And that comes for all of us. But here's the dog. Let's zoom in. I want to see these guys up close. Up close and personal. Here's the dog. Here's the Chow Chow. Cannot be killed, but the regular dog can. The bulldog can also be killed for 200 points. The crow cannot be killed. The burglar, kind of up to you. I presume it can be killed. The balloon, the smoke, and the sparrow, who can also be killed. It cannot be killed. You can only apparently kill your dog or your bulldog. Everyone else is unstoppable. There you go. Got to eat all the food to advance. Dog's patterns. Pay attention to the dog's action patterns. And the windows. At the end of a scene, when the windows appear, do not jump when you open the windows. There are some windows from which dogs jump out of. It is better to start from the top and work to the bottom when opening the windows. I don't know what that means, but I presume it has something to do with FCC regulations. So go ahead and write it all down here. You got a 90-day warranty. Thank you to our friends at Bandai Namco for the amazing Chubby Cherub manual that we were not planning on reading and that I wound up spending 20 minutes on. So let's go ahead and read Abadox. A little bit of a vibe shift. Let's read something scary. I will tell you this much. Abadox looks like this. Let's watch Abadox for a second. This would have scared the hell out of me as a kid. That bloody logo. We're going to pause Andrew's music for a second, and we are going to go into here. We're going to watch Abadox for a second. Thank you to World of Long Plays on YouTube. Is it going? There we go. Are you scared yet? This is a scary part. I'm going to turn the music up. A dramatic opening sequence. The ship just shot its Gao Gao cannon. He's got a Gao Gao cannon right here too. He's eating some candy. I think they could have added some things in the background to show movement. Okay. I don't know what's happening in this video. Let's fast forward to some gameplay. Ooh, this is cool. I like how his legs wiggle back and forth a little when he moves. Careful, careful, Abadox. My dearest Abadox. The deadly inner war. Anyway, I think that's pretty much the game. Abadox, sorry, whoops, oh god. Spoiler alert. Abadox, The Deadly Inner War. It's a game about believing in yourself, and I think that that's really important. It's a game about what is it? Now I need to remember what it's called. Oh my god, when you have imposter syndrome. That's the word. I love when I forget words while I'm on stream. I think that's really cool and probably going to get better with age. Abadox, The Deadly Inner War. Thank you for selecting it. Thank you, Milton Bradley, for bringing us the Paradox, Abadox, whatever it's called. Here's a picture of it. This is also a cool approach. He's kind of wiggling here with excitement, which I like. But there you go. He's murdering some pterodactyls in The Deadly Inner War. I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like a person who's been stuck upside down in the dirt. We're going to go ahead and read the introduction. This looks like some soccer balls. In the year 5012, a strange cytoplasmic creature is sighted in your galaxy. It's Parasitus, a deadly, formless mass which feeds on all life forms and assumes the shape of its swallowed prey. Parasitus, I gotta turn the music back on. Parasitus, where did it go? Parasitus rapidly advances upon your home planet, Abadox, and engulfs it. From nearby space stations, the World Alive Force launches a full-scale attack, the WAF. But the massive Parasitus crushes the entire squadron. An orbiting hospital ship is even swallowed whole, with the beautiful Princess Maria on board. Fuck. You are Second Lieutenant Nasal, the lone survivor of the Force. When he's dressed up to the nines and he's full of Riz, they call that nasal drip. Sidelined from the action, which is also nasal drip, post nasal drip is also part of the inner war, as far as I'm concerned. If I forget to take my nasal spray, sidelined from the actions by your ship's faulty energy drive. I couldn't read that. You witness the attack, but it's not too late to join the battles. Now your weapons are ready and your ship has been repaired. Jettison from your spacecraft, ignite your power pack, and zoom into Parasitus, a grisly surface. Your mission: to blast your way inside Parasitus' nightmarish body. Get your Gao Gao cannon ready and battle your way to its core to destroy it. Fight your way inside its deadly mouth. Travel down its throat, through its nerve center, battling hordes of enemy antibodies and bacteria. Use lasers, guided missiles, and special orbiting shields to destroy them. Beware the guardians that ward off all intruders and bombard them with fierce firepower. You must succeed to save the universe and rescue Princess Maria. Prepare to blast off. Your mission begins. Do 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 do. Some good facts in the chat. Duke Donuts points out that the director of Abadox was also credited with special thanks on SCAT, Special Cybernetic Attack Team. I'm really into the group is called the World Alive Force. It's cool. It's a cool name. So there you go. Let's see here. Using the controllers. That's exciting. You know how to use a controller, right? If you have any NES controller which has the turbo feature, hold down the turbo button for steady bursts of fire rather than just single shots. Your challenge, the stages of combat. Each stage will lead you further into the unknown inner world of Parasitus' body. You'll traverse through its cavernous mouth with its treacherous fangs and tongue, down its dangerous throat, and into the risky area of the esophagus. Then, suddenly, you'll enter a fluid connector channel which takes you straight into the stomach and intestinal region. The final stages lead you through Parasitus' energy nerve center to its heavily protected inner core. The enemy within. As you fight your way to the core, you'll encounter the strange creatures that live inside of Parasitus. Hideous eyeballs, twisted worms, and mutant skeleton fish are just a few that will swarm in for attack as you progress. But not all appear in the stage, and some hold hidden surprises. For each one you destroy, you'll rack up points to your score. To check your score, view the continuous scoring update in the upper left corner of the screen. Good to know. Just something to know. Let's see. Your lives. You got a horizontal scorpion and a vertical scorpion, the two genders. That's exciting stuff. You got blue power capsules. So here you go. You collect blue power capsules. Presumably those power up your Gao Gao cannon. I can't get over Gao Gao cannon. I'm sorry. It broke me. But here's your blue chew right here. Super speed up allows you to maneuver more easily. Tres beam allows you to shoot in tray beam. Allows you to shoot in 3 different directions at the same time. It's French. Très beam. Star beam allows you to shoot in 5 different directions. And the Paradora gun increases your firepower so you can shoot deadly rings of raw energy. You got the laser gun. Does what it says. Twin missiles. You got the orbiting barrier shield and high density power protector, which looks... That's pretty cool. 3 glowing layers of armor. Now let's read about the 6 stages of internal combat. Stage 1 is doubt. Stage 2... Andrew Elmore is here. Hey, party people, how are we doing? We're doing great now that you're here. Thank you so much for bringing the party. Thank you so much, again, for the music in the background. It is the best, and you're cool, and happy to see you. Happy birthday, Ryu, to you. The 6 stages of internal combat. Stage 1, fly over the twisted, gnarled surface of Parasitus. Fight snapping jaws and cunning skulls, a sampling of Parasitus' mutant armies. Beware the hideous dog-like monster Bao, who guards the entrance to Parasitus' mouth. Destroy him and you're inside. Blast past the treacherous fangs and tongue, then venture boldly through the bone crunchers. If you thought Bao was a fearsome foe, the guardian Deathface will be a real treat to defeat. He's got a treat to defeat. Now you're in the throat. Stage 2. Now you're in the throat. Speaking of which, Spindrift is in the throat. The official throat tickling beverage of 2026. Grapefruit Spindrift. Now you're in the throat. Great stuff. Now you're in the throat. Weave your way carefully down this muscular canal. Battle single-cell organisms and pods of poisonous spores. Watch out for the hands of death. An unwary visitor is most welcome here. What? Soon, a circling guardian will try to entrap you. Destroy it, and then blast into the risky channel of the esophagus. I like that they keep referring to the esophagus as especially dangerous. This narrow part of Parasitus' digestive tract is the realm of the lizards of doom. Surprise! The final guardian will meet you with a fanfare of deadly stars. I mean, anyone who's been to an esophagus knows that that's true. Suddenly, you're in the deadly forest of blue nerves. Dancing flowers wave about as they scan for intruders to kill. Pass quickly through a twisted channel of frozen nerves and meet the great shark guardian head on. Defeat him and enter another fluid channel. The inner sanctum is inhabited by floating larvae and vicious hydrozoa, among others. Grab those weapons. You'll need them when you meet the final all-seeing guardian. Now plunge downward into Parasitus' stomach. Beware the cellular organisms that detach from the walls. They'll demolish any food, such as you, so the stomach crabs can crunch away. It's gross. Battle the king crab as it guards the final digestive chamber. Here, the dreaded cilia monster pummels anything that passes by. Avoid its pulsating horns, if you can. Good luck. Yeah, this is the new Instruction Derby. Now you're in the throat. That is the slogan. If I want to have, I feel like I need like a logo for the show that looks like it's like a Super Nintendo box where it has like the now you're playing with power thing, but now it just says now you're in the throat. Be careful, stage 5. As you maneuver through this intestinal channel, my dog's going nuts upstairs, armed insectoids will mobilize to attack you, along with many mechanical devices. Look out for enemies above and below. Destroy the 3 powerful guardians so you can blast through the next chamber, the Energy Nerve Center. Electrical charges and more await you. Destroy the Guardian Commander quickly or you'll never survive. And then finally, stage 6. Zoom down the Tube of Death. That's where the poop comes from. Avoiding heat-seeking fireballs, again, and other macabre organisms. Watch out for the hazardous energy bars with their electrical charges. Tell you what, I think this person could cut out some of the wheat. Maybe they're having a little bit of a digestive reaction to gluten. I've been there. I get it. The 5 guardians protect the door to the core. Destroy them to reach the last corridor. Every weapon counts here as you battle the final army of Parasitus. Winning the game, enter the black inner chamber and destroy the core. Find Princess Maria and rescue her. I'm gonna be honest, both you and Princess Maria are probably pretty gross after this. I like this image right here. He's moving real fast. Cool little spaceship over here. Great. So there you go. That's a game about poop coming out of your butt and someone going down your throat to go find it. That's it. I know. Noodles should host the show. Noodles should host the show. Right now what's happening upstairs is my kids are off of school this week, and so usually we take them to camp. This week we didn't do camp because we were like, you guys can stay back and just enjoy yourselves. It'll be fine. My mom is coming today, and I'm really happy about this. My mom is coming today. I had this old cookbook, old baking book from when I was a kid, and my kids discovered it. And there's all sorts of like fun things to bake in there. And Noelle, my younger daughter, wanted my mom to come over and bake with her. So my mom is over right now. She just got in, I think, and she's gonna bake some cookies with Noelle, and I think that's neat. So maybe what I'll say is, as I was going to say earlier, I was talking about wanting to say something about current events. Maybe what I'll say is this. The world doesn't have to be so scary, and it doesn't have to be so cruel. People are cool, and community is amazing, and staying close with the people that you love is something that is a gift. And if we as a society could just lean into that maybe a little bit more, things would be, I think, super good. So grateful to my mom for being around and nearby and able to come over and hang out. Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. Abolish ICE. Fuck these guys. That's the other thing I'll say. So, I don't know. But let's take a look at our final manual, B52. This is also a game about fighting, so forget everything that I just said about loving thy neighbor. Here's a game about a bee killing other bugs, I think. Check this intro out, though. Hold on, I'm going to mute the music. Check this out. Codemasters is here. I think that might be the most hype intro. That might be the most hype intro thing I've ever seen in a Nintendo game. That music was good. Okay. This bee is sick. I love this guy. Bees nuts. Nice. Thank you. Where'd the music go? Whoa. So this is an unlicensed game from Camerica. So I think it had one of those weird cartridges. But this game's great. This is a very, very European feel to it. Okay, so now he takes it back. And he fills up his honey. Okay. Okay. So I am taken by this game, but I'm so sad there's no music during this part. Whoa. Okay, so that's B52. Holy moly. I think B52 is cool. Man, this is amazing. So how do we get this game, B52? B52. So let's read the manual, and then maybe later we can look into the history of B52. I really like that game. The music was cool. All I would do, the only change that I would make based on that little video, is add some of that good music to the proceedings, because the music was cool. But let's read about it. I'm going to zoom in. It's a little bit of a low quality scan, so just bear with me here. Codemasters, absolutely brilliant. That's the famous code phrase. It was the code name it was the motto that they chose after their original motto. Now you're in the throat had already been taken. So Codemasters, Now You're in the Throat, had to give way to Codemasters, absolutely brilliant, by Camerica. If you have any questions about this or their motto, you can reach them in North 3701 Commercial Avenue, Northbrook, Illinois, 60062, USA. That's pretty cool. Also, Ontario, Canada. That's nice. So here we go. B52. Let me zoom around, just like our B-boy does. Minding your own business. Stinging in the rain. These are the chapters. In the beginning. Controls. Just couldn't. Nothing for that one. Flight of the bumblebee. A sting in the tail. A friend in need. Insect power. Hints and tips. So they kind of ran out of steam after a few of those, but I really like that. B52 is your game. This is not a licensed Nintendo game, so I can't speak to how safe it is to put it in your Nintendo. Don't sue me. Andrew Elmore is right. Mind your own business. Who'd have thought that the success of major preserve distributor Really Nice Honey depended almost exclusively on one worker? Oh, I think we knew that. Not a white or blue collar worker, but a black and yellow striped worker. You! A series of mishaps have befallen your coworkers, and now it's up to you to ensure the continuing success of Really Nice Honey. So B52 is a scab. Like, B52 is not a good guy to work with. He should be joining everybody on the general strike, but he's not. He's interested in the continuing success of Really Nice Honey because he's a boot-licking son of a bitch. The days are getting shorter and colder. Your queen is relying on you to protect the reputation of the hive, and it's rough out there. You can't really see it too easily, but this level apparently is called Water Troubles. Why not try Really Nice Honey on your bread? It's as good as any other. Really Nice Honey advertising slogan. I think they could have a slogan, now you're in the throat, when you swallow the honey. Stinging in the rain. As B52, your job is to collect nectar to fill up the jars that keep Really Nice Honey in business. The relatively simple task of collecting the nectar from the flowers is made extremely hazardous by the motley gang of ghastlies who attempt to chase, ambush you, or just blow you away. These guys, coupled with unknown territory, certainly separate the men from the larvae. If you want an extra challenge, get a friend to take up the gauntlet as well, with B53. So we've heard the word larvae twice in today's episode, which is pretty exciting. In the beginning, I think this is just cool looking. Timer, if the sand runs out, you're still playing, you lose a life. You got your honey pot. These indicate over here, bees, how many lives you have. The spoon shows how much nectar you're carrying by dropping down as it fills. That's all good to know. Here's how you control it. None of it is legally defensible, so they can't get sued by Nintendo. These are just shapes, nothing to do with a Nintendo controller. Here we go. Fly to the bumblebee. 2 routes through the game. One begins at the front door of the hive, the other at the back door. I think, is this what you were talking about earlier, Beardo Adam? You mentioned going in through the back door. I thought you were just being lewd, crude, rude dude, but instead you might have been literally referring to the way to play B52. Simply move. The decisions. You get to choose your level. You get to do all that kind of stuff. Oh, now I see. See, I wasn't even paying attention to the video. I was just so into the music. A sting in the tail when your spoon is full. I'm not going to read all this, but I will read. Suitable for absolutely any age group is a nice, Really Nice Honey advertising slogan, and it makes a tasty alternative to dry bread. Really Nice Honey advertising slogan. You can tell they had some fun with this. Loads of pickups. Keep a bee employed. Eat honey. Really Nice Honey advertising slogan. Let's read about some of the characters. Now, I was scanning through this, and I was pretty surprised by this guy over here. You got Gunther, an Austrian strain of grasshopper, hopped its way over here and hasn't stopped hopping since. One of the more unpredictable of the garden ghastlies, Gunther always tries to stay one jump ahead. Gunther actually found his way to Argentina, I think, but was brought back for the purposes of this game. So there you go. Insect power. Luckily, there are lots of pickups for our hero to collect. This is kind of a tough manual to read because there's a lot going on. You got a bomb. You got rapid reload. You got your mega shot. You got your 3-way. That's what happens when B52, B53, and B54 are all together. It enables a 3-way. Junior, this little fellow will add to your firepower and will guard you with his life. Auto fire, 1-up, shield, and the super sting. So that's pretty cool. Let's read about some more guys. You got Schlobber. The most loathsome and slimy denizen of the garden tends to drop in at the most unexpected times. As he oozes off branches, you'll be left wishing you'd have brought some salt with you. You got Skinner. You'll find Skinner and his cronies in the foul-smelling swamps. Or rather, they'll find you. They don't take kindly to innocent nectar-seeking Apis mellifera invading their territory, and some nifty shooting or a fast getaway is advised. You've got more hints and tips, and the very best honey that money can buy, in our opinion. Really Nice Honey advertising slogan. That's kind of the guiding principle of every press release coming out of like an AI company. It's really the best. Here we go. You got Swamplings. These evil critters are just about the greediest little meanies in the swamp. Leave the hive unattended for long, and these guys happily clean it out for you. Of honey, Vicious Sid. Yeah, he's sneaky, mean, and tough, and just one of the many honey-grabbing ants who constantly lay siege to your sacred hive. When there's honey at stake, they won't just take no way for an answer. Very cool. And that's the game. That was a little bit tricky to read, but pretty cool. All right, wait. B-52 got a C-64 port in 1994. That's cool. When was this one? See, like the quality of the scan is a little bit low, so it's hard for me to tell exactly when this is from. Let's read about the people who made it in a second, but I want to see. 1992. All right, there you go. So who knows? Who knows what's going on? The 90s are a weird time. But let's read about the people who made it. Codemasters and its young founders. If we know one thing about young founders, it's that they're never the worst people you've ever met. But I can't say anything about David and Richard Darling. I don't know them at all. They're probably cool. Whenever I see a young person who's being feted for being young and successful in 2026, the one thing that you can take to the bank is that person's gonna suck shit every time. But again, maybe not David and Richard Darling. It was a different era. So if anybody knows them, please don't tell them I was worried that they might not be nice. David and Richard Darling, I don't know why that happened. David and Richard Darling started writing video games while they were in their early teens and still at school in England. David and Richard Darling. From these beginnings, David and Richard became contract game authors. They wrote games for many major British software houses, and many of them turned out to be runaway bestsellers. The boys had by then realized that they had a natural talent for coming up with games that people really want to play. I will say, after watching that video, I want to play this. David and Richard formed Codemasters, their own company, in October 1986. Within a year, Codemasters was the best-selling game software publisher in the UK. Codemasters has dominated UK charts. Over 30 of the world's best games people work at Codemasters' global headquarters, a 96-acre farm in the heart of rural England. I guess that was just a thing that everybody in England did. I don't know if that's the case, but that seems like rare in Codemasters. I guess they were just like, we're going to go work on a farm. So that's pretty cool. Over 30 of the world's, I just read that, didn't I? Codemasters has the resources, the expertise, and the drive to bring you the very best in video game entertainment. And that's exactly what Richard and David aim to do. So I am kind of curious. Now, it wasn't a licensed game by Nintendo, but they sure worked with the FCC to make sure that everything was on the up and up. And I think that's cool. Thank you to Comerica and to Codemasters for bringing us B-52 and this wild manual. Let me take a look at David and Richard Darling. Let's see. David and Richard Attenborough Darling. Same thing. David Darling. This is David. Now he's the CEO of Quali. Okay, there you go. David Darling, Codemasters, his brother. He is now founder and CEO of smartphone app developer and publisher Quali. So that's pretty cool. What's his brother doing? Congratulations, David. Codemasters. Wait a second. Wow. If you click on Richard Darling, you should get Codemasters. Who is the current? Where's Richard? Richard Darling and his elder brother. God damn. Richard doesn't even get his own thing. We got to get Richard up. Is Richard okay? I don't know. I'm not trying to be glib if he's not. I just don't know. Let's look up Richard Darling real quick. Richard Darling. Isn't this the most exciting thing to do? Watching somebody look online. Something is alarming to me here. Where's Richard? Is he okay? Well, I don't know. If something bad happened, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it. I just don't know. Anyway, Richard Darling, you've been Codemasters up until the mid 2000. I guess so. Then I think that they changed hands. Might have been hard to type, I guess, if they changed hands and they weren't used to them yet. So yeah, there you go. Micro Machines 2007. The Micro Machines games were so cool. I like that. Look at this. Look at this like list of games from Richard. Creative director. Special thanks. All sorts of great racing games. Man, Codemasters was cool. So there you go. B-52. Thank you to David and Richard Darling. Thank you to our good friends over inside of the colon of Abadox, and as well to the Cherub, the chubbed out Cherub, Chubby Cherub, and everybody in there for having shared with us some great stories in video game manuals. I don't know how to sign off for this episode, so we'll just say thank you to our sponsor Spindrift, and and keep them coming. I actually am running out of Spindrift. This is my last Spindrift. So thank you for the stream. Thank you everybody for coming. I was looking at that. My screen was a little bit weird today, so I missed some of the chat. But Beardo, Adam, thank you so much for coming into the chat. Thank you to everybody for coming into the chat. Thank you for chatting. Thank you for hanging out. Y'all are amazing. And go think about Chubby Cherub. And bring the energy Chubby Cherub brings to his day every day. And be good to yourself. Instruct, that's right. Andrew Elmore says it right. I think that's the way to sign out. Instruction Derby. Now you're in the throat. Goodbye. Good luck. We'll watch the video. Bye.